Once again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ages, we're now tuned in to the Investor Show. As always, this is your gracious host coming all the way live from the beautiful city and state of Denver, Colorado. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, comment, and share button, and all those other great things. But as always, I don't have a lot of time, and I definitely, you guys and girls don't have a lot of time, so we're going to jump straight into it. We got a very, very special guest in here live with us today. Not actually in the studio, but he's in Denver, Colorado area. We have the Broncos Ring of Famer, three Super Bowl appearances, 4-time All-Pro, 13-year veteran with the Broncos, 12th round draft pick. I'm trying to make sure I remember all his accolades. I ain't gonna be good to get all of them, but Karl Mecklenburg, ladies and gentlemen, y'all see him. He's known as the albino rhino. And if you got any questions, you just put in Google or go to YouTube, and you'll see exactly how and why he has that name. I ran into him, met him for the first time. Of course, I've seen his pictures and things like that at Empower Field at Partners Group annual meeting. And I went there, met him with Rod Smith, who you guys have seen on the show as well. And I said, wow, I didn't know how big he was in person. And this is after he's, older and retired. But I'm glad to have him on. Checking out his book, Heart of a Student Athlete. Of course, you can see I got the bookmark there. Definitely read his book. And we're going to talk about some of that stuff. We're going to get his takes on his reading program. We got to answer some financial questions, too. And what's going on with these Denver Broncos, too. I know he's going to be down there on the field calling the game today or doing something down there with the Broncos. But without further ado, let me bring in my guest. Karl, how you doing today, sir?
I'm good, friends. How are you?
Let me make sure I get you on my camera here.
There
we got you.
And all my stuff behind me.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So first of all, if I messed up anything, I forgot keynote speaker, author, so many things. Karl, tell us about yourself for the people out there and across the globe who's going to be checking you out.
Yeah, well, like you said, I'm a retired NFL player. I love my time in the NFL. I learned a lot in the NFL. There's a real condensed lifetime in the NFL. You're young for a couple of years, and then you're an old guy, and then you're gone. I mean, it doesn't last long. You did add a year to my career. I actually played for 12 years, but
okay.
The 13th year I was fishing. That's what I was doing. But I had a good time.
You retired right before the Broncos went into that double Super Bowl and all that stuff, right?
Right, they just need to get rid of the deadwood.
We've been going to the Super Bowl all these years with John Elway. Then all of a sudden, this happens, right?
Now, that was awesome. It was so good to see that. I knew a lot of those guys. Obviously, I played with a lot of those guys, and to see them succeed the way they did and win a couple of Super Bowls was just a wonderful thing. I had met Mike Shanahan actually at the University of Minnesota. That's where I played college football. Mike was the offensive coordinator when I got there. Tony Dungy was a graduate assistant when we got there. Mike Martz worked in the film room. We had unbelievable coaching. We didn't have very many players, but we had an unbelievable coaching staff there.
Got it. Now, I got to ask you this question. I want to bring this up. What's going on with these Denver Broncos? We're, 2-2 right now? It's all the hype through the offseason. You do a lot of work. Your social media is, I kind of follow that. Like, I watch the game, then I go watch what you post. The understanding of the game, the film, and stuff like that. What's going on with these Denver Broncos?
Yeah, they've got a brand new head coach, brand new offensive coordinator, brand new defensive coordinator, guys that haven't been in that position before. And it's a very different job than just being an assistant coach or being a coordinator, bumping up to being a head coach. It's like working on the floor of a manufacturing place and then all of a sudden moving up and becoming a boss. All of a sudden, your focus is completely different. During my career, I started as a nose guard. Basically, I'm staring at the ball in front of me and playing the center, and that's all I'm worried about. Then they moved me back out to defensive tackle, then they moved me to defensive end, and then they backed me off the ball and had me playing linebacker and making the calls again, making sure everybody's lined up. I got to see everything. And it's the same type of thing where these coaches are just learning the craft at this point. So it's a tough adjustment, and it takes a while. I expected them to be average early on. I think they've got enough talent to be good, but it's going to be a matter of those coaches really figuring out the way to do their job correctly. And that takes a minute. You can't just jump into one of those jobs and be great at the start.
Okay. Well, that's a good perspective. I mean, everybody's like, "Oh, great, we're going to the Super Bowl. We'll return." In the off season, Russ brought a lot of energy to the city and things like that. And everybody's the immediate comparison to Peyton Manning. All that stuff started to happen right away. And
Right.
I was like, I don't know, but I know Tim Patrick going down didn't help either.
Sure, that hurt. Well, truthfully, Prince, that was a different situation when Shanahan came in. You had Gary Kubiak as head coach, and Gary was a long-term head coach. He knew how to handle players. He knew how to make adjustments for talent and put guys in positions to be successful. And these are, like I said, the coaching staff is completely brand new. So it's not the same situation, and the most expected it to be, it's not. They had an established team, and they added Peyton on top instead of losing a team and adding somebody on. It's different, and all new coaching staff. So it'll take a little bit.
Yeah, you got a lot of stuff going on there. Coaching staff, ownership,
right?
I forgot top, bottom, everything did change. Everything. Now, one of the things I caught on to your book, and that I heard you say this, and I can't say it how you said it in your podcast. You said, I forgot, I wrote it down here too. So I got notes, So you spoke about having a sports mentality, right? You got the sports mentality podcast. You're saying prepare consistently, right? Evaluate honestly. What is it? Prepare consistently.
Okay, yeah. Let me run through it here.
Yeah, I know you got it. Go ahead and take it.
So let's say prepare thoroughly. Perform. Okay. Perform.
Decisive.
No, I'm with it on it. Prepare thoroughly. Perform decisively.
Decisively. There we go.
Perform decisively. Evaluate honestly. Adjust accordingly. So that isn't just football. That's business. That's family. That's life. But that was our pattern in professional football. You need to prepare thoroughly. You need to know what your opponents do and how they do it. If as a businessman now, as a speaker, I need to understand who I'm talking to, what their challenges are, what their exciting things that have happened that month, what the economy is doing to them that month, whatever affects them. I need to know that to get up and really reach them when I'm speaking. When I have that information, then I can perform decisively. I can get up there. I can be confident in what I'm doing. I'm ready to go. I don't know if you remember Peyton Manning's retirement speech, but he went back to it over and over and over again. No one's going to out-prepare me. No one's going to out. He said that at least 5 times in that little speech he gave. And that was what made him special. When he got to the Denver Broncos, he had a broken neck, had surgery on it 3 times. He could barely throw the ball to the back of the room. But he knew exactly what to do and how to do it, and he was able to get the job done because he had prepared so thoroughly and he was decisive in his decision making. I don't know how many times in my life, and I'm a decisive person, I think, how many times in my life I've had an idea, I've thought about it, and by the time I acted on it, the opportunity was gone. I get up every morning, I do a little Bible study, I think about what I'm going to run into that day, how I can make an impact in their life, and then when those opportunities arise, I'm prepared. Then I can be decisive. The next one is evaluate honestly. And that's a hard thing to do. That's probably the hardest thing of these 4 tenets that we're talking about. But to evaluate honestly, to look at yourself and say, I did this right. I want to repeat that. I did this wrong. I want to throw that out. I want to replace that another way. It's so easy to blame other people for things going wrong, to blame the COVID for what's going wrong, to blame anything for what's going wrong. Did I just lose you?
No, we got you loud and clear.
Okay, I lost you, but good. I'm glad I'm still there for you. So it's a challenge to say, okay, this is my fault. I'm gonna fix it. And that's taking accountability and stepping up and saying, yeah, this is on me, is really what allows you to then adjust accordingly, make some changes, figure out how to do it better next time, and then go back to the preparation and go through the whole cycle again. That's that was how we did it in the NFL for sure.
Okay. Well, now let's go to your 6 keys, right? Teamwork, courage, honesty, honesty and forgiveness, dedication, desire, goal setting, right? Why you say these are 6 keys to success? How can I apply this? Me, Prince Dykes, the investor, the author, the private equity guy. How can I break down these 6 keys to success? I want to be successful, Karl.
Yeah, well, teamwork leadership is the ultimate expression of teamwork. Teamwork is the best way to get things done. I see when I got on Zoom with you to do this call, you got a teammate there. He's got everything lined up, set up, got the lighting right, make sure your hair looks good. all of that, right? Yeah. So there are things that I do well, that my wife doesn't need help with, but there's a ton of things that I don't do well that she helps me out. Planning any sort of real intricate, deep kind of thinking stuff, that planning ahead, all that kind of, she's anxious, she's nervous, she's concerned, and she takes care of so much of what's important for us to go as a team. So from that standpoint, teamwork is huge for anybody, and one of my jobs when I get up in front of an audience to speak is to remind people that they're teammates. I think it's really easy to watch a sports contest on television and say, well, the team in white is playing as a team, but the team in the dark colors is not playing as a team. And you can see that and you know that, but then you apply those things to your own life. You try to do it by yourself. You don't ask for help when you need help. You don't hire help when you need help. So yeah, that's a big teamwork. Courage, the courage to try new things, the courage to be decisive are the 2 pieces of courage. Courage to try new things is hugely challenging for a lot of people, especially as you get older. It's hard, but to step outside of your comfort zone and try. Progress is always change. Change isn't always progress, but progress is always change. You have to have the courage to try new things to move forward. And a lot of people cut themselves off and really limit their possibilities by not having that courage. The courage to be decisive, we already talked about a little bit, but decisiveness is how I made it in the NFL. I run a 4.940. I'm not fast enough to play in the NFL. That's why I was 310th pick of the draft, right? But if you take the first step in the right direction before anybody else does, all the angles change in your favor. Tight end can't pin you in, guard can't cut you off, fullback can't keep you from getting to the line. Everything changes. Question is, how can you be decisive? It goes back to preparation. And trust in yourself and let yourself go when you have that opportunity to go. So courage to be decisive. Dedication is hard work, constant learning, refusing to quit. I think people understand that. It's hard to go through things that are difficult in life, in business, in equity funding, whatever you're doing. But you've got to be dedicated. You got to hang in there, because there's going to be down times. To me, if you're not running into obstacles, you're not pushing hard enough. Success is overcoming obstacles on the way to your dreams. If you're not bumping into obstacles, if you're not running into situations that force you to be dedicated, you need to push a little harder, in my mind. Desire, that's the dream, the passion, the mission. A lot of people sell themselves short. It would be really easy for me to say, okay, I got done with my football career. I'm not going to do anything else. I'm just going to go fishing, which is what I did for a little while. But I got bored. Right? So I'm doing other things, right? I got getting involved. And that desire, that passion, that mission, for me now, it's inspiring long-term positive change in teams and individuals. As a speaker and author, I want to inspire long-term positive change. As a Christian, I want everything I say and do to reflect God's love. That's who I am. That's who I've decided I'm going to be. And because of that, I'm going in a direction, and I know which direction I'm going. And goal setting are the reasonable, short-term, specific steps to get you to those desires, those passions, those missions. So a long answer to a short question, but that's how it applies across the board.
Okay. Well, I definitely, when I got to that part of the book, I was like, wow, I can apply that, to real life and the things that I'm doing, making that first step. But I know you got to get running, Carl. I got to get out of here. I got to ask you this question before you run. People have had this was a big topic in the NFL. You being a 12-year veteran, you just seen down in Miami, Tua with the concussion, CTE. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's a real thing. I actually have just been working with a group called Luminance that's here in town. The guy does SPECT scans of brains. And mine could look better, truthfully. Yeah, and we're working on it. He's got a laser light deep brain heating up thing that will fix the blood flow in your brain, and I'm working with him with that. I hope to do some advertising for him eventually, and have already found that I've gotten some good results from it. So there are some answers, but it's the first thing is to make sure if you've got a concussion that you treat it as an injury. When I was playing, to come to the sidelines, they'd say how many fingers. It's always 2, so you say 2 and you go back in. that was our protocol.
Wow. And nobody thought, because I'm guessing at your time, especially the way you played, that was just second nature to you.
Yeah, no, I love the physicalness of the sport. That was my deal. I'm gonna hit you. I might not run fast, but I'm gonna hit you.
Don't let me catch you. Okay. Well, Carl, I definitely want to say thank you for coming on. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to sit down with me. And we definitely greatly appreciate it. Is there anything you want to leave the audience? I know you've done so much, with Me to Financial Literacy. You having a reading program that you did in Denver. How did you make it happen before we get out of here?
Yeah, well, it was a great deal. A reading program in Denver. I have dyslexia myself, which is tough in school, but it's okay. It means you use both sides of your brain. I can throw a ball with my left hand or my right hand. I can move either way, which is why they allow me to play all over the place in the NFL. But the challenge is in school. So we had a reading program where the kids were rewarded when they read a certain number of minutes every week. They had a big poster up with each kid's name on it with like a football field, and their football moved down the field. When they got to the end, they get a pizza from Pizza Hut, or get something, get a pen or something nice, and then the top winners would come to Mile High Stadium for an event, and the governor spoke at the event one time. I mean, it was a nice deal for the kids, and it made a difference. Got some kids involved in reading, which ultimately is going to help you with your life. So it was important to me. If people want to get a hold of me, you can go to karlmecklenburg.com. You can misspell that lots of different ways and still get there. You can, and I'm like I said, I'm out there speaking around the country. Do about 40 keynotes a year, and love it. I get to make a difference in people's lives. So thanks for having me on, Prince. I appreciate it. I got a football game to go to, brother.
Yeah, Thursday night football. Who's going to win tonight?
Oh, the Broncos are going to win tonight, man. Got this.
All right. Good.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for being on. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ages, y'all know what time it is. This is the Investor Show. Thank you guys for coming on. And to the next video podcast, cartoon, or whatever else crazy you see me do around the globe. Peace. Be safe. I'm out. And thank you. Thank you.